What economic and political problems did Byzantium face during the siege of Constantinople? In the past and in present, city of Constantinople, known as Istanbul, is the one of the significant cities in the history. The significance of the city of Constantinople remains in its geographical location because this city serving as a bridge in between Asia and Europe. Due to this reason, city of Constantinople became a trade center for the region throughout the history. In addition to its significant geographical location, Constantinople was considered as the heart of the Orthodox religion. According to Wikipedia, from Constantinople, Byzantine Orthodox Christianity spread the most of Eastern Europe, for example, Bulgaria, Serbia, Romania, and Russia. As a leader of Eastern Christianity, the Patriarch of Constantinople represents a clear challenge to the universalist claims of Rome. Constantinople, founded by the Constantine the Great in 330 CE, city of Constantinople enabled the formation of two important empires in the history, which are known as Byzantine and Ottoman Empire. A lot of empires wanted to conquer this city. However, just the Ottoman accomplished this goal in the region of Sultan Mehmed the Conqueror. While Sultan Mehmed's siege in 1453, the situation of Byzantine Empire was precarious. Moreover, when the Byzantine Empire was on the verge of collapse due to its economical and political instability, the Ottomans were in a position and power to siege the city of Constantinople. The city of Constantinople, which was already in a bad state, also fell into an even worse economic and social situation due to 53 days of comprehensive siege of Sultan Mehmed the Conqueror. One of the Byzantine historians who lived during the era stated that Mehmed II breaks treaty with Byzantium and cuts off revenues awarded the emperor. Mehmed II orders the construction of the fortress Bağkesen on European side of the straits. Greek farmers protecting their crops massacred by Turks. Thanks to the revenue cuts from the Ottomans, Byzantine Empire lost its one of the most vital economic income.
As a result of this, Byzantine Empire's economical situation rapidly deteriorated. Furthermore, with this revenue absence, Byzantine Empire faced a great hardship for recruiting military forces and establishing defense systems. Moreover, this event reduced the central authority of the state of Byzantium. According to a research about Rumeli Fortress, Rumeli Hisari is built on the narrowest area of the Bosphorus and was named Boğazkesen in the period of Fatih. The purposes of the structure were to manage the passing ships in the Bosphorus, to create a military financial control point, and to provide a strong fulcrum resistance base. The acceptance of Fatih on the policy of conquests or "fütuhat", which aimed to conquer Istanbul, resulted in the construction of Rumeli. Construction of Rumeli Fortress had an undesirable effect for Byzantines in the context of prevention of the external military and food aid that sent by the other countries. These circumstances left alone and desperate the city of Constantinople in the siege era. In addition, before the siege of Constantinople, Ottoman forces occupied the Greek farmlands, and the farmers suffered from it. As a result, Sultan Mehmed II cut off a significant food source and reduced the agricultural efficiency of the Byzantine Empire, which would have been a food source during the siege. Briefly, Ottoman siege preparations such as the construction of Rumeli Fortress and the occupation of Greek farmlands made the conquest of Constantinople more convenient for the Ottomans, but in contrast, these circumstances put the Byzantine Empire in an adverse situation. The siege of Constantinople also affected Byzantine Empire politically and religiously. To start with, before the siege of Constantinople and during the siege, there was a throne fight between the rulers of Constantinople. In such a chaotic atmosphere, 11th Constantinos Palaiologos became the owner of the throne. During his era, He sent gifts and treasures to the Sultan Mehmed with his ambassadors. However, these attempts did not change the Sultan's mind.
In order to gain Western support for the protection of Constantinople, Constantinos XI accepted the Orthodox Church's alliance to Rome, but he did not succeed. He preferred to resist and war against Ottomans rather than surrender. He was killed while fighting with Ottoman soldiers who had breached the walls on 29 May 1453. Critolus mentioned this death in his book of history by saying, "And the emperor held out until the very end. He did not flee." With the fall of the city, the Roman Empire breathed its last. The final lands that belonged to the Byzantine Empire, such as Despotate of Morat and Empire of Trebizond, were now belonged to the Ottoman Empire, and the last remains of Byzantine Empire were demolished. According to the philosopher second Genelius, as soon as the Turkish Sultan took the city, the fate of the remaining territories of the empire was sealed. With the siege of Constantinople, Byzantine Empire's effect on West ended. For many years, Byzantine Empire served as a buffer state to West against Turks. With the fall of Constantinople, a great fear and political vacuum emerged in West against Ottomans. Moreover, Ottomans now have a direct confrontation with Europe, and their progress in West became easy. Pius II wrote earlier that concerning this issue and stated that, with the collapse of Byzantium, the Turkish danger pressed directly upon us. There is no longer any barriers between us. As the Constantinople was the center of Orthodox, the religious authority switched from Byzantium to Ottomans. Moreover, Fatih the Conqueror became the Kaiser, which means the protector of Romans and Orthodox people. Due to different reasons such as Pope did not provide enough help during the siege of Constantinople, or the reputation of Pope and Catholic institution names were tarnished, and in the future this became influential in the formation of Renaissance and reform in Europe, which resulted in a decrease for religious activities. Fall of Constantinople in 1453 is one of the decisive turning points in history. Constantinople was once a center for trade, culture, and Orthodox Christianity. Moreover, it served as a backbone to Byzantine Empire. With the siege of Constantinople, political, social, and economical changes happened, which both affected the Ottomans and Byzantine Empire. The conquest of Constantinople stands as a final chapter of Byzantine Empire and the openings of a new geopolitical order that will shape centuries to come.